A rescue team on Saturday released from a barge in the North Sea a humpback whale that had been stranded in shallow waters near Germany since March. Witnesses said nicknamed Timmy by German media. The whale was spotted swimming near Germany's Baltic Sea coast on March 3, far from its natural habitat in the Atlantic Ocean.
Ask.com, the search engine and question and answer service formerly known as Ask Jeeves, has shut down. Ask Jeeves first launched in 1996 and, with its focus on answering conversational questions posed in natural language, was arguably a precursor to today's AI-powered chatbots. For most of its 30-year history, however, it's been overshadowed by other search products, especially Google. The organization behind the Academy Awards released new Oscar rules on Friday, including several that address the use of generative artificial intelligence. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences said that only performances credited in the film's legal billing and demonstrably performed by humans with their consent will be eligible for Academy Awards. Similarly, the Academy said that screenplays must be human-authored to be eligible. A drone strike carried out by the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF, has killed 5 civilians in Khartoum, according to an NGO. The attack, which emergency lawyers, an independent legal group supporting victims of human rights violations in Sudan, reported on Saturday, is the second to take place in the capital within a week. It follows months of relative calm in the city after government forces regained control last year.
And at least 6 people have died in heavy rains in northeastern Brazil, with thousands more displaced, according to authorities. The deaths were reported in the Pernambuco and Paraíba states on Saturday, following 2 days of rain. And a humpback whale calf that earned huge media attention and the nickname Timmy after being repeatedly stranded in shallow waters near Germany has been released into the North Sea by rescue team. The operation to save the sea mammal, launched as its health deteriorated, transported Timmy in a water-filled barge and released him off Denmark on Saturday.
The governor of the Mexican state of Sinaloa said on Friday he will temporarily step down from his post. Days after he was indicted in the US on drug trafficking charges, Ruben Rocha Moya, the governor of Sinaloa since 2021, and 9 current or former high-ranking Mexican officials were charged in a 5-count indictment unsealed Wednesday with allegedly helping a faction of the cartel led by the Chapitos, the sons of Joaquin Guzman Loera, also known as El Chapo. Victor Gyökeres and Bukayo Saka starred in Arsenal's 3-0 win against Fulham on Saturday as the Premier League leaders moved a step closer to their first title in 22 years. Mikel Arteta's side demolished woeful Fulham with a 3-goal first-half blitz at the Emirates Stadium.
And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has reiterated warnings to Belarus not to get involved in Russia's invasion as he reported unusual activity near the shared border between the two. In a video address shared on social media on Saturday, Zelensky said, without offering details regarding the suspicious activity along sections of the border, that Ukraine is ready to respond.
Madrid has demanded the release of a Spanish citizen who was arrested during a raid on a flotilla headed for Gaza and taken to Israel for questioning. Foreign Minister José Manuel Albares told Catalan radio station RAC1 on Saturday that he was concerned about the illegal detention of Saif Abukeshek and called for him to be released immediately. Somali pirates have hijacked an oil tanker off the coast of Yemen, according to multiple Somali security officials that spoke with the BBC. The Yemeni Coast Guard earlier said the tanker MT Eureka had been hijacked and was headed towards Somalia. Sources said it was overrun by pirates in the Gulf of Aden, near the port of Cana.
Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te has arrived in Eswatini, days after his government said a trip had been cancelled due to China pressuring African countries to stop him flying over their territories. His visit to Eswatini, Taiwan's only diplomatic ally in Africa, followed days of careful arrangements by the diplomatic and national security teams. He said, without giving further details on how he reached the country.
And Yemen's Coast Guard has said that it is attempting to recover an oil tanker that was hijacked off the coast and is now heading towards Somalia. The MT Eureka was seized off Yemen's southeastern Shabwa province as armed assailants boarded and took control of the vessel, the Coast Guard said in a statement on Saturday. The hijackers then steered the tanker to the Gulf of Aden towards the Somali coast. And Austrian police have arrested a man suspected of lacing jars of baby food with rat poison in what authorities presumed was an extortion scheme. Police, cited by the APA news agency, said the suspect, aged 39, was apprehended in the state of Burgenland, south of Vienna. They did not name him nor say where exactly he was arrested.
Driverless cars are becoming more common in some California cities, but when the autonomous vehicles violate traffic laws, police haven't been able to ticket them. Until now, the state's Department of Motor Vehicles, DMV, has announced new regulations on autonomous vehicles, AVs, including a process for police to issue a notice of AV non-compliance directly to the car's manufacturer. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius has said the US decision to withdraw 5,000 troops from his country was foreseeable, as the NATO military alliance says it is seeking clarification from Washington. Speaking to the DPA news agency, Pistorius also stressed that the presence of American soldiers in Europe, and particularly in Germany, is in our interest and in the interest of the US. Audiences will have to wait a few months longer to see Narnia, the Magician's Nephew, with the release date pushed back from Thanksgiving to February 12, 2027, in addition to relaunching Narnia on big screens and serving as writer-director Greta Gerwig's first film since Barbie. The Magician's Nephew also looks like the next step in Netflix's relationship with movie theaters, and it's becoming an even bigger step with the delay.
Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi on Saturday called on Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and briefed him on the security situation in the country, the Prime Minister's office, PMO, said. According to the PMO statement, Naqvi met with the Premier in Lahore, where he briefed him on the security situation in the country and the measures taken in this regard.
The governor of Mexico's Sinaloa state has temporarily resigned days after being charged by United States authorities in a sweeping drug trafficking indictment that has further strained relations between the two countries. In a brief video statement posted late Friday, Ruben Rochamoya again denied any wrongdoing, but said he was taking temporary leave to defend himself against the U.S. allegations.
And AI dictation apps have come a long way in a short time. For years they were slow and inaccurate unless you spoke with a particular accent and enunciated clearly. And advances in large language models, LLMs, and speech-to-text models have changed that, producing systems that can decipher speech more accurately while retaining enough context to format the text correctly. And developers have also built in features to automatically remove filler words, fix stumbles, and handle punctuation, outputting text that needs far fewer edits.
OpenAI held a live event in San Francisco where its OpenAI 5 faced 5 human players in Dota 2. OpenAI said the system improves through self-play, completing the equivalent of 180 years of games against itself each day.
And assistive devices, wheelchairs, electric bikes and hearing aids were distributed among special persons in Faisalabad. Deputy Director Social Welfare Amina Alam said here on Friday that the Punjab government had provided assistive devices, wheelchairs, hearing devices and e-bikes, ensure inclusive welfare and social protection of special persons.
Passport processing services at all Pakistan foreign missions have been suspended until further notice due to technical issues at the headquarters in Islamabad. According to official notices issued by overseas missions, the notice states that passport operations at all foreign missions will remain halted, with authorities saying the resumption of services will be announced through official social media platforms.
And Sindh Chief Minister Murad Ali Shah on Saturday advised the public to take precautionary measures as the Pakistan Meteorological Department, PMD, said that heatwave conditions would continue to prevail in the province's central and upper parts till tomorrow, Sunday. And in a heatwave alert, the PMD said hot or very hot and dry weather likely to prevail over most parts of the province. However, heatwave conditions to continue to prevail in the central and upper parts of the province till tomorrow. And the US has warned shipping companies they could face sanctions if they pay Iran for safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz. An alert on Friday by the US Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFA, warned US persons and companies were generally banned from paying Iranian government entities, and non-US persons may risk exposure to sanctions if they pay.
Over 20,000 revellers gathered for an illegal rave on a military site in central France, despite the risks of unexploded ordnance nearby. The event, organised on social media as the Bourges Technival, has been taking place on a military firing range, which authorities have deemed very dangerous. Addressing the cameras following reports of spiralling youth violence, including the killing of the 21-year-old former Israeli soldier Yemanu Binyamin Zalka last week, Israel's National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir was clear. This will be a total war, he said, announcing a national operation to target a surge in youth violence. We will restore security to the streets and calm to parents. Anyone who harms Israeli civilians will face the strong hand of the Israel police and pay a heavy price.
The Punjab Environment Protection Agency, Punjab Pehel, has announced plans to make Rawalpindi the first district headquarters free of single-use plastic, with implementation set to begin from June. Speaking at a press conference in Rawalpindi, Director General Punjab EPA Dr. Imran Hamid Sheikh said laws banning single-use plastic bags are already in place and enforcement is underway, with fines, sealing and other legal action being taken against violators.
An evaluation by the UK AI Security Institute found that OpenAI's GPT 5.5 reached a similar level of cybersecurity performance and was sometimes even ahead of Anthropic's Mythos Preview model. Anthropic had previously limited access to Mythos Preview, citing elevated cybersecurity risks and restricting the release to critical industry partners.
And the Pakistan Meteorological Department, PMD, has issued a heatwave alert for Karachi and several districts of Sindh, warning of very hot and dry conditions over the weekend and into early next week. The Met Office said temperatures in Karachi may reach up to 38 degrees Celsius on Saturday and around 40 degrees Celsius on Sunday, with mercury expected to exceed 41 degrees Celsius on Monday, while feels like temperatures could rise to 49-50 degrees Celsius due to high humidity.